Hi, this is Colby from Colby's Production. I'm working with Victor here from Van Chan. Check out his channel.
Thank you.
We are doing a challenge of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
And basically what's going to happen is I'm going to be reading this book out, while he basically makes facial reactions. And we're both going to try not to laugh.
Yes.
While this is happening. So, wish us luck, and I guess we'll get started. In that case, I'd like to give them to a charity. One working in Darfur, since that seems to be close to your heart. They can auction them. If that's what you want to do, his mouth sets into a hard line. He's disappointed. I flush. I'll think about it. I murmur. I don't want to disappoint him, and his words come back to me. I want you to please me. Don't think, Anastasia. The atmosphere between us is now tense. I don't know what to do. I stare down at my fingers. How do I retrieve this situation? Oh, my subconscious mouths at me. It makes me feel cheap, I murmur. Christian runs his hand through his hair, exasperated. It shouldn't. You're overthinking it, Anastasia. Don't place some vague moral. I frown, trying to process his words. Hey, stop this, he commands softly, cupping my chin again and pulling at it gently, so I release my lower lip from my teeth. Alright, that was fail number one.
Fail number one. Let's change the challenge up. Let's see how many times we fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There's nothing about you that is cheap, Anastasia. I won't have you thinking that. I just bought some old books that I thought might mean something to you, that's all. That's better, he murmurs. He half fills the cups. It's pink, I murmured, surprised. Bollinger Grand Agnès Rose, 1999.
How many times is this book gonna say murmured? It's like they're recycling words. And this is bestseller? Come on!
But I can't help thinking this is really about my capitulation. Thank you, I murmur. And take a sip. There's that word again.
Is it?
Christian takes my hand and leads me to the couch where he sits and tugs me down beside him. Your stepfather is a very tacit man. Oh, that's very sexy. Like, I'm gonna take you to the couch. I'm gonna start talking about your stepfather.
This is the sexiest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, I definitely agree. So turned on right now. Oh, did I? I'd take another sip.
I predicted the book.
Wow, he has a memory for you. Detail. This champagne really is very good. Did you try the wine at the reception? Christian makes a face. Yes, it was foul. I thought of you when I tasted it.
Oh, that must be pretty foul.
Oh, there's the word murmur again. Just small ones I murmur. Okay, anyways.
What is the actual definition of murmur? Is it like...
It's just like, I don't know. I think it's just very softly
exactly,
talking.
Nobody knows.
Then she moves closer to him on the couch and glances at the list. To be discussed, does the submissive consent to masturbation, cunnilingus? What? Cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus?
Whatever that is, a fellatio.
Please, in the description box, can you explain what that means? Or in the comments section? I don't know.
Vaginal intercourse, vaginal fisting, anal intercourse, anal fisting. No fisting, you say. Anything else you object to? Yeah, softly, I swallow. Oh, she did it right?
Oh, wow. She worked fast.
And intercourse doesn't exactly float my boat. I'll agree to the fisting. Holy shit, how? I frown.
That's the first thing I read when I looked on the page and you said it.
He moves down the list. And swallowing semen? Well, you get an A in that. I flush. They already did it?
Like when? And since when do you get graded on it?
I flush, and my inner goddess smacks her lips together.
What does inner goddess mean? I read it a bunch when I was doing my challenge. What is inner goddess?
So, he looks down at me grinning. Swallowing semen, okay? I nod. So, he says she gets an A in that, and then He asks if it's okay. Is that rape?
Perhaps.
Does the submissive consent to the use of dildos, butt plugs, vibrators, other vaginal anal toys? Butt plug.
A pen?
Does it do what it says on the box? Bondage with rope, leather cuffs, handcuffs, shackles, tape with other. Does the submissive consent to hands bound, ankles bound, elbows bound, everything bound, neck bound? I don't. The end of this, she'll just be a mummy. I visibly shrink. Oh, he's so bossy. A spreader is a bar with cuffs.
What is this,
ankles.
anime? They visibly shrink? Okay, so
Okay.
she visibly shrunk.
Yeah.
Because maybe he shrunk down there. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you like tying your submissives up so they can't touch you? He gazes at me, his eyes widening. That's one of the reasons, he says quietly. So he likes having sex, but he
Right.
doesn't like being touched.
Where's
What a
the logic in
freak.
this book?
They're just going on and on. Spanking, paddling, nipple clamps.
What?
Hot wax, genital clamps.
And you women read this and say we're
sick, right?
apparently we're perverted and sick, yet you girls are making this #1 bestseller in the world.
There we go. My breathing changes, becoming shallow, rushed, full of expectation. His fingers are at my zipper, aching slowly. Once more he eases down, while his lips move, licking and kissing and sucking their way across to my other shoulder. He is so tantalizing good at this. My body resonates, and I start to squirm languidly beneath his touch. You are going to have to learn to keep still, he whispers. There's a period after each one, kissing me around my nape between each word.
Wait, there's a period between each.
So I guess he's going like,
word,
you are...
Oh,
he keeps...
I thought you meant she was having a period with each kiss. So, it's fucked up enough to have that in there.
Lift your arms and put them around my head, he murmurs. There's that word
There's
again.
that word again.
I obey immediately, and my breasts rise and push into his hands.
That's rises.
My nipples hardening further. My fingers weave into his hair, and very gently I tug his soft, sexy hair. I roll my head to one side to give him easier access to my neck. He murmurs. Into that space behind my ear as he starts to extend my nipples with his long fingers. I arch my back to force my breasts into his expert hands. You like this, don't you, Miss Steele? Tell me, he continues, the slow, sensuous torture pulling me gently. I don't think you're ready to come yet, he whispers. Stilling his hands, and he gently bites my earlobe and tugs at it. Besides, you have displeased me. And he pushes his thumbs through the material, shredding them and tossing them in front of me so I can see. Holy shit. His hands move down to my sex. His hands move down to my sex. And from behind...
What is that? Is that what she calls her vajayjay?
To her sex?
To...
Undress me, he commands.
Well done, Christian.
My inner goddess roars, and from somewhere born of frustration, need, and sheer steel bravery, I push him onto the bed. He laughs as he falls, and I gaze down at him, feeling victorious. My inner goddess is going to explode. Slipping my fingers under the waistband, feeling the hair in his oh so happy trail. Oh so happy trail. He closes... It's a happy trail,
It's a
guys.
happy trail. Everything's just happy.
Everything's just great. Just great.
Just great.
He closes his eyes and flexes his hips.
Even though her asshole must be like this wide.
You move, Anastasia, up and down, how you want. Take my hands, he breathes, his voice hoarse and low. Oh, so sexy. I clasp his hands, holding on for life. I gently push off him and back down. His eyes are burning with wild anticipation. His breathing is ragged, matching mine, and he lifts his pelvis as I come down, bouncing me back up. We pick up the rhythm, up, down, over and over. It feels so good. Over the edge, and I climaxed around him, shouting incoherently. He grabs my hips and closing his eyes, tipping his head back, his jaw strained. He comes quietly. I collapse onto his chest, overwhelmed, somewhere between fantasy and reality, a place where there are no hard or soft limits. I think that's a pun. So they're sending messages to each other, I guess. I'm not sure I like you anyway, especially at the moment. Why don't you like me? Because you never stay with me. Oh! I think they're falling in love.
Oh.
So at first it was just like some desire.
And they just wanted to, you know.
You know what I picture this? I picture this one of those romance things where like the guy's out like on the sun deck or whatever, and he has like his chest out and it's like unbuckled and he has like the hair floating in the wind.
Yeah. Red Shoe Diaries.
There we go. The apartment is achingly empty and unfamiliar. I have not lived here long enough for it to feel like home. I head straight to my room, and there, hanging simply at the end of my bed, is a very sad, deflated helicopter balloon. Charlie Tango, looking and feeling exactly like me. I grab it angrily off my bed rail, snapping the tie, and hug it to me. Oh, what have I done? I fall onto my bed, shoes and all, and howl. Oh, the pain is indescribable. Physical, mental, metaphysical. It is everywhere, seeping into the marrow of my bones. Grief. This is grief, and I've brought it onto myself. Deep down, a nasty, unbidden thought comes from my inner goddess. Her lips contorted in a snarl. The physical pain from the bite of a belt is nothing compared to this devastation. I curl up, desperately clutching the flat foil balloon and Taylor's handkerchief, and surrender myself to grief. Who are these people? Taylor, Charlie?
Yeah, they just kind of popped in. I thought it was supposed to be Christian and Anastasia.
Girl's a slut.
I know.
And what is this? The physical pain from a bite of a belt? If you bite a belt, it's not gonna hurt.
Unless that's like...
Unless the belt's biting you. Does this belt have teeth?
Like, how does... Metaphorical my ass. It makes no sense. What the hell is murmur?
I think it's like, almost like whispered, but it's like even softer than a whisper. Because whisper, you have like that breathiness.
Right.
Maybe it was just like... Not even that.
But
maybe it's just nothing.
How much of this book have they done it? Every sentence we read almost, he murmurs. Like, so is this whole like conversation?
Guys, this shit's so easy. It's so easy. Like, I don't know. Even like thinking at the top of my head, you could come up with shit like that. Just at the top of your head, you could think like, oh, he grabs her and pushes her onto the bed. He climbs on top of her and he's kissing the nape of her neck. He's slowly stroking her and she feels him. She feels the intensity. She knows that he wants it. He slowly starts kissing her from head to toe and just teasing her, going all around her body. Slowly starts taking her pants off of his teeth. Like, this is so simple.
It's easy. If you want to continue even on that, she begs. It's not enough. So he takes his tripod and shoves it. And then we got a list of rules. There's not supposed to be a tripod involved, but I'm gonna void the rule. I'm gonna bring the tripod into it.
You see this, guys? There we go. Not impressed. I've read way better books, way more thought-provoking books. Like, you want a good book? Go look up what's it called? By George Orwell. It's called 1867 by George Orwell.
He touches my sex. What?
My sex.
My inner goddess explode. What?
Maybe that's a reference to the Venus commercials.
I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your design.
Find your inner goddess.
No shit, eh?
Yeah.
Holy. Oh my god. Me too.
I'm gonna put the George Orwell, once I actually know the actual name, I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, because
Give that book
I'd like to check that out.
Give that book a try, because that's a good book. But, anyways,
That was the 50 Shades Grey challenge.
with about 100 laughs.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed. This is Victor from Vanchan. Please subscribe.
Thank you.
And have a good day.